This is Supernatural Selection on DeviantBehaviorRadio.com, hosted by Kevin the Bastard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin the Bastard. With me is Mike the Skeptic. After a full 3 weeks with David talking about ghost monkeys, Mike is back.
What were y'all talking about?
We have been talking about the Legend of Boggy Creek, specifically the Falk monster. And David hates the term ghost monkeys, and I keep using it.
So, you just pissing him off.
I excel at this.
Well, good. Good to know.
Yeah. So, how you doing, Mike?
Pretty good.
Good. Because we're going to talk about something. Mm-hmm. I've noticed that we are really good at two things: covering subjects people may not have heard, and character assassination.
Yeah, I guess we take the piss out of people really well, you and I.
We really do, because I think that one of my favorite things we've done so far has been the David Icke episode. And Throwaway Alien, of course. So, this week we have a new subject we are going to be talking about to throw us back into the realm of the Homo sapien. We're going to be talking about Mr. Graham Hancock. I know you're looking at your hand. I know you're looking at your penis, Mike.
Well, that's what I've been doing every time you mentioned him all week.
I know this. And Mr. Hancock is let's call him speculative historian or speculative archaeologist. He believes that there is a lost ancient civilization of human beings that predates everything we know about humanity.
So he's full of shit.
I'm torn here. I really like his theories, but I think Graham Hancock might be a prick. But we're going to explore that a little bit in this episode because he has a lot of critics, as you would expect. And we're going to talk about some of the valid criticisms there are and the invalid criticisms, because if there's one thing that you shouldn't do with these people's ad hominem attacks.
Yes, leave that for us, please.
Yes, that is our job as professional amateurs. We do that. Please, don't sully your reputation. Let us sully ours. So, Mike, before we really get started, you said you had a plan for this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to look directly in front of you.
I am looking directly in front of me next to my mental health medications. There is a shot glass full of tequila.
Yes, it is full of tequila. I have one over here as well.
I understand that.
So, I want you to... Here's the plan. So, it is no secret that we frequently partake while in the process and beforehand recording these.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's part of the character assassination thing right there.
Yeah. So, my plan is we'll have a little game going on. I want you to think of a word that when I say it, I have to drink. And I'll think of a word for you.
Okay.
And so, whenever I say the word, you tell me to drink.
Okay.
But I don't want it to be like just, the. Come on, think of something.
No. I've got one already, man. Yeah, no. If you would like to play along with this game, choose one of us. Don't choose both of us. You will die. All right?
And we only have one shot, so it's not every time we say that word.
No. Well, I don't know if I can down the whole shot. Maybe half the shot.
I'm going to take the whole thing.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that. All right. Now, I know my word for you.
Yeah.
Have you picked a word for me?
I'm actually thinking of that right now.
All right. Now, here's the thing. When you take the shot, when neither of us takes the shot, we have to say, hang on, I got to take the shot.
Well, I mean, you'll be calling us on it. So like,
yeah,
you said the word. We do.
Yeah.
You said the secret word.
Right.
Yay!
Right. It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, hang on.
I think I have a word that you will say.
Okay. Well, that's good. All right. I can deal with that. So let's start in on our subject. What we're going to do is we're going to do two parts of this. The first part, we're going to talk about Graham Hancock as a person.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about his theories, which this is one of those situations where I really want to separate the message from the messenger. And potatoes, is that the word?
No.
Damn it. Okay. All right, so Mr. Hancock is an author. He was born August 22nd, 1950. He is from the United Kingdom.
I just interrupt you real quick.
Sure.
I do notice that you're structuring this completely the opposite of Time Cube, where we went to the theories first and then talked about the man.
That's because I feel like we really need to get him out of the way and then tackle the subject. I don't know why. I feel like that's really important because his I feel like his theories deserve their own forum because I don't unlike David Icke, his theories are not anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
So
that you know of.
That
not yet,
okay,
anyway.
That's fair, but we'll get into that eventually. There is something with his critics, but we'll get into that later. So, again, Hancock was born August 2nd, 1950 in the UK. He is a writer and journalist.
What is it about the UK about these guys?
You know what? I've been trying to think of that, and I'm wondering if it's like all the factories they had.
Socialized healthcare.
You think it's like mercury in the vaccines?
No.
Is that it? No.
But, maybe it's just... It could be the needs pyramid.
Maybe they should stop hitting babies on the head with hammers.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah,
that'll do it. I think maybe if you quit hitting your babies, England, maybe you'd not have so many Hancocks and Ikes running around.
They also have a lot older houses there. Maybe it's like
asbestos and lead
paint,
lead paint and asbestos.
Yeah.
The origin of most conspiracy theorists.
The origin of most psychopaths.
Yet you're not wrong. You know what? I don't want to get into serial killers, but like that really would be a fascinating thing. So apparently he was born in Edinburgh in Scotland.
He's Scottish.
He's Scottish. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. His parents moved to India when he was 3, and his father was a surgeon. He graduated from Durham University in 1973. He received first-class honors degree in sociology. He is married to Santa Faye. I'm butchering that, and I apologize. She is a Malaysian from Tamil in Penang, Malaysia. And she is a professional photographer specializing in ancient cultures and monuments. Now, that is worth bringing up because she works with him because of that. Seeing as he is what a lot of people call a pseudoscientist or pseudo-archaeologist.
Yes.
They also have 6 children, so they definitely get along. You know, it's not like David Icke and his multitude of bizarre women.
A whole stable full.
Fucking stable of children. So, in his career as a journalist, Hancock worked for the Times, the Sunday Times, the Independent, the Guardian. He co-edited the New Internationalist magazine from 76 to 79, and he was the East Africa correspondent for The Economist. Like, that's some serious literary chops.
I would say that's, it makes him a journalist.
Yes, definitely. Now, let's talk about what happened that turned him from this path
to
the path of madness. Also, booger. Is that the word?
Nope.
Damn it. Okay. So, let's see. In 83, he made his first visit to northern Ethiopia in a war zone to cover, fucking war for The Economist.
What else are you going to cover in a war zone? Pottery?
I would not doubt that. He's a sociologist. So he finds a cathedral in Ethiopia called, where is it? The Cathedral of St. Mary of Zion. All right, and Ethiopia is Catholic, but they're their own unique brand of Catholicism. All right, so, and he meets a monk there, and the monk tells him, "We have the Ark of the Covenant." Now, I don't know what fucking conversation he had with this monk that led the guy to say, "Hey, man, we got the Ark of the Covenant, and I'm in charge of watching this thing." Now,
I don't know, maybe that monk just stands outside, and everybody that walks by is like, "We have the Ark of the Covenant. Psst, we have the Ark of the Covenant.
Hey, man. Hey.
We have the Ark of the Covenant.
Hey. You want to melt some zombies? You want to melt some Nazis? We got that shit."
Nope, zombies.
Zombies. I don't know why I said zombies. I think
they cohabitate the same space in your head as Nazis.
You know what? Yeah, they kind of do. They're brainless twats. So anyway, the point is, he meets this guy that tells him he's got the Ark of the Covenant, which has been a theory for a long time because the Queen of Sheba was supposedly from Ethiopia, and she came and visited Solomon at the temple. And the legend goes that Solomon entrusted her with the Ark of the Covenant to safeguard it, and she brought it back to Ethiopia, and they've had this extremely long-lived sect of Christianity down there.
Yeah.
So it's possible that it's true. There's nothing to say that it is or isn't. All I'm going to say is that anytime people go up to this monastery, are like, "Hey, man, you got the Ark of the Covenant. Could you please put the AK-47 down, sir? Could you put the AR down, please, sir? I'll leave. I promise, I'll leave." So, it's kind of a bizarre situation. We got the Ark of the Covenant. Can I see it? You're gonna fucking die.
Yeah, I mean, why would you tell people you have the Ark of the Covenant if you wouldn't want to show it to them?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out, and I can't figure it out.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah?
I have a 13-inch dick.
No, you don't.
I'm not going to show it to you, but you don't know for sure I don't.
Motherfucker. Prove it or get the fuck out.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's the problem. So Hancock hears this and becomes sort of obsessed, and he starts working on research for his first book called The Sign and the Seal, which is about, of course, the
sign, the seal, and the delivery.
God damn it, I was really hoping you wouldn't go there, but here we are.
I'm yours.
Yes. Compelling brew of mystery, crime, and science, revealing the details behind the search for the Ark of the Covenant. So, on this research mission to write this book about it, which he found really interesting, he travels to Egypt, to look up information, the Israelites in bondage in Egypt and what have you. And that's when he discovers what will become probably his most famous claim to fame, the idea that human civilization is older than we think. Specifically, let's go with Giza, that the idea that the Sphinx and the three Great Pyramids were built close to 13,000 years ago in the year 10,000 BC.
Okay.
All right. So, he becomes obsessed with that, and as soon as the book, The Sign and the Seal, comes out, he immediately starts working on his next book, which, hang on, I've got a list right here. Where the fuck is that stuff? Books. Okay, here's the thing. Let me read you the title of some of his books, and this will give you a good idea of how it changed. All right. First book, 1985, Ethiopia, The Challenge of Hunger. 1986, AIDS, The Deadly Epidemic. 1989, The Lords of Poverty, The Power, Prestige, and Corruption of the International Aid Business. The Sign and the Seal, The Quest for the Ark of the Covenant. All right, you see what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
It definitely took a slide. Anyway, after that, he did Fingerprints of the Gods, The Evidence of Earth's Lost Civilization. I had this book. Not gonna lie. Really good fucking book, dude. Pretty fucking good. Followed by The Message of the Sphinx, which is more of the same. In fact, a lot of his books are about this whole lost civilization thing.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm sorry if you heard that. That was Mr. Conti Cat meowing at me. Apparently, he also has a theory that Mars and Earth are linked and that life originally started on Mars. But anyway, he starts writing about the whole ancient civilization theory, which personally I think has some merit. You know?
What's that?
I'm just saying, like, you know, the idea that there may have been whole cycles of civilization before what we know, and we don't have a way to prove or disprove it, you know?
Well, there's some ways to prove or disprove. The weathering of stones is something that's well known and can be used to date things to a rough.
Which we're going to get into that as we get into the actual theory. But he's doing all these books about these lost civilizations, and then he decides at some point, I'm going to take a break. Around, good God, this cat is just a calamity, all right? I'm sorry. I apologize, everyone. The cat just decided everything on my desk needed to fall. So 2005, he releases a new book after like a year of... Okay, actually, I'll take that back. About 3 years of research into something completely new. Mike, do you know what Graham Hancock became interested in 2005?
What's that?
He went to the Amazon and became heavily influenced by ayahuasca.
Yes.
Are you familiar with ayahuasca?
Not really.
Okay, ayahuasca is a drug used in South American vision quest type things. Basically, think of mushrooms and DMT.
Yeah.
On steroids. This shit is hardcore. Like, you can't do it alone because you might fucking rip your face off.
Jeez.
All right, they always say, if you're going to do ayahuasca, be sure you have like a shaman with you. And it's like, oh, why do you need the shaman? And they are always like, oh, he'll guide you. I'm pretty sure it's to talk you the fuck down off of whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, it's at this point, after going through all that, going through some ayahuasca stuff and deciding that at some point he was a pharaoh in the past, Hancock decides that every adult human should probably do ayahuasca. And I'm like, whoa, let's back up a little bit, buddy. So he gets done with his ayahuasca trip and then goes back onto his ancient civilization thing. His latest book, released in 2019, is America Before the Key to Earth's Lost Civilization. America Before the Key to Earth's Lost Civilization. Sorry, mispronounced that. He also released Magicians of the Gods, The Forgotten Wisdom of Earth's Lost Civilization. I think you see the theme here.
Yeah.
Now, his theories... Yeah, all right, let's face it, they're controversial. He's talking about some shit that sounds pretty crazy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what if I came to you unprovoked and told you about all this, what would you say?
You frequently do that.
Okay, never mind then. Let's not go into our personal lives. He has a lot of critics. And like the refuting of facts, that's fine. You know,
Mm-hmm.
You face these theories with facts. I understand. But a lot of his critics just do ad hominem attacks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you're just fucking stupid and wrong then.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, why? Because you're stupid and wrong. Fuck you. I mean, like, people don't just get, like, defensive about this stuff. They get, like, angry defensive about it.
Yeah.
All right? They get, like, well, you're a fucking shit face. Like, he sued the BBC over some of the shit they said on a documentary involving some of his theories. And I get pissed off at that. Like I said, you want to refute facts, that's fine. Or you want to refute theories with facts, that's fine. But, like, don't just call the guy a shit hook.
Drink.
Wait, shit hook was the word? Holy fuck. Okay, so I take the drink then.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm kind of surprised that was it. I'm kind of surprised I said it. All right, hang on, everybody. Here we go. All right, so a quick word about the tequila that we're drinking. This is not any tequila.
It's not Jose Cuervo, that's for sure. It is
definitely not. This is Corazon tequila, aged in Our Works personal Weller bourbon barrels.
Yeah, so it's very nice.
It is real damn good. So, skull, Mike.
Down the hatch.
Holy shit. That is good stuff, man. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of burn, but it doesn't give you the tequila shakes or nothing. All right, so, like I said, he gets a lot of ad hominem attacks because people just get, like, really pissed at his ideas. Like, irrationally so, I think.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're just jealous of the press he gets.
Maybe. That's very possible. I hadn't thought of that. But, I mean, like, you know, it's intriguing, you know? His ideas, you know, they're almost crafted to be attention-grabbing.
Probably are.
So, like, I get that. But, like, seriously, just stop just saying you're a fucking liar. Just approach it a little more rationally if you're going to attack him. Now, that being said, I'm going to tell a couple of things. First off, did you know he has been what's the term I'm looking for? The advisor on a couple of films.
No.
Yeah. He was an advisor on the Roland and Emmerich film 2012.
Of course.
And 10,000 BC.
Of course.
Yes. Because, and seriously, if you watch 10,000 BC, which is 10,000 BC, it's not a great movie, but it definitely delves into that whole ancient civilization thing.
Yeah.
And I watched it just for that. And they never say, some say they came from the stars, some say they came from a dying continent, but they never really say what the people that founded the civilization were, and then you find out it's just old men. Anyway, I'd like to talk a little bit about Hancock. This one specific incident that really sticks out in Fingerprints of the Gods. All right?
Okay.
Now, this is the period where he's in Egypt with his wife, right? And he wants to climb the pyramid, which is highly illegal. It's a UNESCO site, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what a UNESCO site is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For those that don't know, UNESCO World Heritage Sites are basically places that are protected by the United Nations as culturally significant for humanity as a whole. And the pyramids and the Sphinx are UNESCO sites. But the head of Egyptian antiquities. Mike, do you remember the guy's name?
What's that?
The head of Egyptian antiquities.
No. This is the guy that everybody hates.
Yes, the guy.
Makes it very difficult to actually do research.
Yeah. Zahi Hawass. Dr. Zahi Hawass. This guy is crooked as shit. I don't care if I get sued for saying that. This is a guy who, while talking about the integrity of archaeologists, put out a line of khaki shorts. I'm not joking. They sold it at Harrods in London. All right. Anyway, Hancock goes up and is like, I'd like to climb the pyramid. No, you cannot. You cannot climb the pyramid. I'll give you $2,000. All right, tomorrow night. So Hancock and his guide and his wife go to the pyramid and they start climbing. And then Hawass sends a patrol and is like, what are you doing on the pyramid? Well, we paid to be able to climb it. Well, you need to give me more money or we're going to arrest you. Now, this happens several more times. All in all, I want to say it cost him somewhere around like 10 grand in extra bribes to guards after bribing the guy to get to the top of the pyramid. And during the article, he talks about how it's so unfair and he's put upon and it's just awful. And I'm like, motherfucker, you just bribed a dude.
Yeah.
Stop bitching. You're not put upon. You're doing something illegal. Deal with it. Like, am I in the wrong here?
Well, I mean, so think about it. If you were like in Mexico and you got choked down by the police for money, and they kept calling more police over to shake you down more, it's still, I mean, it's...
Yeah, but that's a shakedown. I'm talking about,
this
like...
is a shakedown, too.
You've bribed them already, and you're dealing with a man who's crooked to begin with, and then it turns out, oh, shit, you mean the crooked guy I dealt with is crooked?
Yeah, but, you know...
I don't know.
Still, you enter into a good faith transaction with someone.
I don't know, man. I just don't know that good faith is anywhere in this transaction.
Obviously, Graham had, Herbie there had good faith intentions.
Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie.
Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
so he entered into a good faith transaction with Mr.
Hawass.
Yeah, and he violated that.
And he got
fucked over. Who's the
asshole
in this?
Both of them. Both of them are the asshole in this. And look, Hancock, while I totally agree that a lot of his detractors do attack him ad hominem, there are people that have legitimate arguments against him that are like, well, here's the actual facts. And he's like, he just like launches into like this whole "oh woe is me" thing. All right.
Yeah.
And for that, I despise him on some level. Like he travels the world. One of the things he says is, I travel the world because as a journalist, I want to report on things I personally experienced. So I travel the world and talk to experts. I'm like, yes, you do. And you write about them in your books about traveling the world, meeting experts, and they all tell you you're wrong. And you're always like, but the way he said it, I get the feeling like maybe he thinks I'm right. And I'm like, maybe, no, that's not even what happened. I'm reading it and I feel embarrassed for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh my God. I want to like this guy. All right.
Yeah.
Like, I look at a picture of him and there's a lot of reasons I can't like him. Like that whole woe is me thing and the whole, well, I think they think I'm right, but they can't admit it. And I'm like, no, they think you're a fucking idiot. And he looks like my boss from Shoe City.
Yeah, he does look like that guy.
Yeah, you looking at it?
I've seen a picture. There's a picture of him.
Yeah, he totally looks like that guy.
Yep.
Which just makes me want to throw a fucking brick at him. I'm just going to say it. Now, that being said, I've gotten my opinions of the man out there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk for a bit about Mr. Hancock's theories, because I want to separate the message from the messenger. That has been like a big, important thing for me in this episode, all right?
Okay.
So, like, his theory, of course, like I said, is that there was an advanced, I don't mean technologically advanced, but like a socially and maybe like knowledge advanced civilization millennia before anything we knew. Right?
What other knowledge could there be?
You know, astronomy.
It takes technology.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, I'm not. Okay, let me rephrase that.
There's a certain amount. There's certain portions of knowledge that require technology.
Yes. When I say technology, what I'm trying to say when I say technology is I don't mean fucking lasers and UFOs.
Well, see, so technologically advanced just is depending on the time period.
Okay, all right. Well,
like a steam engine if Jesus built a steam engine, that's technologically advanced.
Now, in all fairness, before Jesus, they did build steam engines in Greece.
Well, I meant like a train engine.
Okay, so like an actual
steam locomotive.
I love that you just automatically jumped to Jesus being the one that built this.
Well, I was just trying to think of someone that, early times. But, I know about the little steam that,
and the thing is, they made this steam stuff, but the automatons.
Well, no, the Greek steam thingy was called
it's like a bird or a bull or something.
No, it was a ball that had two little nozzles on it that like spun. There's a name for it, I can't remember, like helio something or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They had access to steam power, and they did some things with it.
Well, no, because they had access to a steam novelty, but they never figured out a way to make it into a device until
this is like
the
Japan,
1900s.
This is like
or
China
1800s.
and gunpowder.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had something, but they just made toys with it.
Could you imagine Greek and Roman steampunk?
I'm just kind of picturing togas with like gears taped all over them.
There's like a guy on a toga and on a wood and brass steam motorcycle. I think there were literally just a few.
They're like one good
ideas away from having actual steam powered things. Like, what if Archimedes, I don't know if he was around when this steam stuff was being messed with, but like Archimedes had come up with a steam water screw. Steam powered water screw.
That would have been some shit.
Yeah. And
God, think of how advanced it would have been by the time they all died of fucking lead poisoning. I'm sorry.
Well,
you still got to deal with the fact that it was lead pipes.
Well, the Roman Empire, fell for many reasons, mostly socioeconomic.
Yes, absolutely.
The lead just wasn't good for long-term viability.
It was a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, he's saying that, like, 13,000 years ago, an event happened that wiped out advanced civilization on Earth. And one of the proofs he points to is the Giza Plateau.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start with the Sphinx because.
So how long ago is he talking?
We're talking like the year 10,000 BC.
10,000 BC.
10,000 BC, close to 13,000 years ago. All right. Saying that at a specific point, the night sky is mirrored on the Giza Plateau by the Nile, the Sphinx, and the three pyramids, being that the Nile would have appeared to flow into the belt of the band of the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
The Sphinx would be mirrored in the sky by the constellation of Leo. And the 3 stars in Orion's belt would be mirrored by the location of the 3 pyramids, the 3 great pyramids on the Giza Plateau.
Okay.
All right.
So he thinks that this advanced civilization had nothing better to do than lay out their complex for the way it would line up once a year.
What are you saying, Mike?
I'm saying that the night sky is changing.
Yes.
And it's never
yes,
it only line up and be mirrored one day a year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
So that's a lot. That's a long way to go for a lame joke.
Well, I mean, like, there's something poetic about it, and like I could see, like, if this was like some huge important thing for this civilization, maybe.
What he thinks it when it perfectly aligns, like the pyramids open up and shoot beams of light into the sky.
No, I want to really emphasize he is not one of those guys.
But it's so fantastical for no good reason. It's like saying when we laid out New York, they specific, or all the conspiracies about DC, that it was laid out in specific Masonic patterns and shit.
That's insane. That's Washington.
Exactly. I mean, we don't do that nowadays. Why would they do that back then?
Sure they did in Washington.
What do you mean?
Washington's laid out in a giant satanic grid.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's laid out in Washington is in a pattern the same way fucking Disney World's in a pattern, because it was conceptualized all at once, and it wasn't a city that grew out of a little fucking village.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just saying that, like, there's a lot of conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my point, is that
they're also saying that the reason traffic is so fucked up in DC is because it's due to routing of power to Congress and the president.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't said my word yet.
I'm a little shocked too. Like, I thought we'd be there by now.
Is it a bad word?
It might be. So, all right, the Giza complex. The other thing is, the reason he thinks it could be that old, because everybody always points to Khufu's name being in the Great Pyramid of Giza, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while, yes, they found Khufu's name in there. And
but he probably was like a teen and just like scratched Khufu was here.
No, it's worse than that, actually. So they mentioned this actually in Stargate, which was also influenced by, you know what? I'm just going to say Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerichsen are big fans of Graham Hancock, because they mention a lot of the shit he's brought up. Because, like in Stargate, somebody mentions Khufu's name being at the pyramid, and Daniel Jackson says he was a fraud. And everybody boos and walks out. Now, the reason that gets brought up is because there is really good evidence that Khufu's name in the pyramid is a fraud. Yeah. Because it was written in red paint using relatively modern chemicals.
Yeah.
And it was misspelled. Khufu's name was misspelled in the exact same way as the shitty books the archaeologists that found it had. All right? Okay. That's like, that's like if you found Kevin spelled with 2 E's instead of an E and an I.
Yeah.
Written in modern magic marker in a tomb somewhere.
Yeah.
And this guy was on the verge of losing his funding unless he made a massive discovery. And then just like the day before he's going to lose his funding, suddenly he finds Khufu's name in the Great Pyramid where people had explored before. You do the math. It just sounds like this motherfucker was trying to stay on the gravy train.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So there's no real proof that Khufu built the pyramids. All right? I'm just saying. Y'all can argue all you want, but the big thing is the Sphinx. You know where I'm going with this, Mike.
What about it?
All right, the Sphinx. Let's talk about the Sphinx. If you take away the concrete supports for the headdress,
yeah,
the man's head on the body is way too small. All right? The theory is that originally it was a lion's body built when the Giza complex was a savanna. And it was a lion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, once it became a desert, the Sphinx has been periodically buried over the millennia by sand, including if you find the if you look at the dream stela, which is a stone in front of the Sphinx, it says, "I discovered this head in the sand, and I uncovered it, and it said I would become a great pharaoh if I did this, and I did, basically." Now, the theory is that the head was chiseled down to that pharaoh's head. Now, the other supporting evidence is that the Sphinx shows what several scientists say is clear signs of water erosion. And the last time the Giza Plateau was in a condition where it would be exposed to that much rain and water was roughly 13,000 years ago.
Okay.
All right.
So this is what he's talking about.
This is what him and several other scientists have talked about, including Robert Bauval.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Uh-oh. I just heard a well.
Wikipedia about the Sphinx says that's all bullshit.
Okay, take a drink. I knew that was coming.
I didn't say bullshit yet.
No, that's the first time you said bullshit this whole episode. I've just been sitting here with bated breath.
Oh, that's some good slurm.
That is some good slurm, buddy. All right.
But yeah, no, there's none of the archaeological evidence says that there was recent water erosion.
Never said recent.
Well,
said 13,000 years ago.
But, water erosion of the Sphinx.
Yeah, no, there are. And here's the thing.
fact that it is carved out of the bedrock.
Now,
for that, and that the Sphinx temple that was in front of it was made with the stones that was carved from around the Sphinx.
Okay. Now, in Hancock's defense, in Fingerprints of the Gods, he does talk about the fact that some sand erosion can cause something that looks like water erosion. He does bring that up, so I'll give him credit for that. He also will admit when he's wrong about things.
And there's also speculation that the Sphinx head could have been a natural rock formation that was, because there are in Egypt these what does it call them here? Trying to find it. I read it a second ago. But anyway, there's like in the Southwest Desert, you have these like kind of rock spires that have been carved by the wind.
Yeah, the buttes.
But there's some thought that they could have found the head like that, or you found a rock like that, and I was like, oh, carve a head into it. Well, I'll keep carving. And they start carving out the body, or carving out the ground for the temple.
Okay, the complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, there's this Sphinx temple that was in front of it.
Yeah, that's true.
That was carved out. That it was built. It was a temple built with stones that were carved from around the Sphinx, because the Sphinx is kind of in a depression.
Yes. Now, as an offside, I'm just going to say, fuck the whole antiquities division in Egypt, because they built like walls where you can't even see it from the fucking highway.
Yeah.
Like, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all for all that.
Well, I mean, if you look at a overhead picture of Cairo, I mean, it's just this sprawling metropolis that just stops right there at the Great Pyramid Complex.
Yeah, which I'm glad they did, because God knows what they would have done.
I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, although I would like to see the alternate history where, like, the buildings were just built up around the pyramids.
Man, can you imagine? Yeah. Welcome to the new Sphinx Hilton. Jesus.
I can't remember the name of any of the pyramids.
Jesus, God. Well, it's a Great Pyramid and the other two pyramids and shit.
Had, like, the names of the people.
Khufu, Khafre, and Kakakupipishire. I don't remember the third one.
Welcome to the Khufu McDonald's. Would you like to Pharaoh-size your meal?
Hey, welcome to the Khafre brothel. Jesus God. Oh, Lord. So, anyway, the point is, I still don't see a reason to not think that maybe there were... And like in recent history, there's been a lot of discoveries of things like humanity's been in North America substantially longer than we thought.
Yeah, well.
And then there's... Hang on. I'm going to find the name of this because I always mispronounce it as Gugu Gabble blah 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 blah. Turkish ancient... that's not how you spell that. God damn it. Okay, I should not type after drinking. Göbekli Tepe. The oldest temple structure ever discovered is... let's see. They're saying between 9,500 and 8,000 BCE. And there are visual similarities between some of the carvings with carvings found in Egypt. Now, okay. I'm not saying that those are linked. Graham Hancock, on the other hand, is saying they're linked.
I mean, they're more likely it's just a common ancestry.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is that ancestry,
because I mean, all people came from one place.
Yes, and he's saying that place was this ancient lost civilization.
Well, it's not really a lost civilization.
So we don't know anything about it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
except that they had this thing for dudes with wings with baskets.
Maybe that was their version of manga.
Oh my God! What if it was hentai?
No, not hentai.
Not hentai? Just manga?
Just manga.
Just manga.
Okay. There's their Naruto.
Oh, God. Fucking hell. So, let's see. We covered that. He also talks about in South America, saying that he basically links all ancient civilizations with this mother culture, you know? Which... I don't have a problem with that necessarily. You know?
I mean, there was such a thing, but it wasn't advanced. I mean, it was just normal for its time.
Well, he thinks it wasn't.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Why's everything got to be so...
So what?
So... special.
I don't know, but it appeals to me. There's a part of this that really, really appeals to me, you know? I've read like 3 of this guy's books, and while, yes, I could argue historical points, I'm still fascinated by the concept of it and the whole idea of an ancient, lost mother culture. One of Hancock's favorite phrases is, "We are a species with amnesia."
Well, yeah, because there's just events in the past we don't know anything about.
Exactly.
But they're not, some advanced, I mean, and using the word advanced is so weird because, I mean, so the Egyptians made all this stuff. How is that, just because it didn't take place, 4,000 years earlier than that, or 6,000 years earlier than that.
Well, here's the question, and this is one of the things a lot of people...
Why does it matter that it was done in 2000 BC and not 10,000 BC? Does it matter? Really?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I just, like, there's a part of me that this really appeals to the idea that, I don't know. I can't explain it. It just, it speaks to my soul on some level. And that's one of the reasons I like the Wheel of Time books so much.
Here's the thing. Ancient Egypt is already an ancient culture that did some pretty amazing things.
Here's the thing.
Why do you want to take that away from them?
Here's the thing. You know what? It's kind of like that whole thing with the phantom time hypothesis where they were saying, like, you know, the Middle Ages were invented to legitimize the Holy Roman Emperor's claim to the throne, and all it would do was make him look bad for not conquering the stuff himself.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that in a way, you know. It does lessen the achievements of those civilizations. I do agree that there's some startling similarities there, but also I kind of feel like pyramids are like the fucking easiest thing to build because it's a goddamn pile with flat sides.
Well, I mean, so I wouldn't say that at all because
they fucked up that one pyramid, the Pyramid of Dozer.
Well, and not only that, but you have to look at it, the logistical shit you have to have together to do a pyramid. I mean, you have to carve every stone at least in the outside of the pyramid is unique.
Yes.
Well, okay, you have 4 of each that are, you know, the same. But you have to carve them in the right order, get them to the site in the right order, and they all have to be within a certain measure of accuracy.
Yes.
Admittedly, once you fit it in place, you can, like, fine-tune it a bit. It's not like it has to be perfect as soon as it gets there.
Right.
Once you put it in place, you can, like, but you have to have enough knowledge to get it, you know, level. Because if you think about it, the pyramid is, you know, however many hundreds of, you know, feet or meters tall. I don't know how big they are, but
really goddamn big.
But if those stones are just a little bit not level,
you're fucked.
By the time you get to the top, you know, it looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah. Well, here's something I want to point out.
That's for a different reason, but
but I'm going to point out something really important that, like I said, I respect, like, Hancock's ideas. I love these ideas. I don't necessarily believe all of them, but there is something very important that a lot of people really forget about the Egyptians, the Incas, the Mayans, the Aztecs, all these people. They were bureaucratic as fuck, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
like, they had giant fucking hard-ons for, like, efficiency.
And not only just efficiency, just for, you know...
There were systems in place for everything, and if there's one thing they could do, they could organize.
Yeah.
And, like, this... You don't get a civilization that anal without figuring out architecture. You know?
Yeah, and, well, so you have architecture and engineering. Architecture is more of the art side of it.
I understand, you know, but what I'm saying is, like...
And engineering is...
These were civilizations that...
nuts and bolts of it.
Absolutely, but these were civilizations that were pretty much gonna have that because of the way they were constructed.
Well, here's the thing about... If you look at any ancient civilization, every ancient civilization did this kind of stuff. So there's something intrinsically built into our thought processes that we want to build things bigger than us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still, if you look at the biggest shit we have on Earth, like the biggest, like, container ships or, aircraft carriers, you think all it took was a pile of fucking monkeys to build one of those. I mean, think about it. Think about the fact that was built with people's hands.
Yes.
Or the machines that built those were built with people's hands. Or the machines that built those machines. You trace
There's a dude with a slide rule somewhere in the back.
You trace a fucking nuclear-powered aircraft carrier back far enough in every tool that made that aircraft carrier, eventually get back to someone hand-making some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what's amazing to me.
I totally get that.
Is that,
And the thing is, I don't think Hancock's theories do away with that. I just think he's trying to set the timeline further back on that.
Which actually kind of diminishes people. It kind of is throwing shade at people. It's saying that, we needed more time to do this kind of thing. No, we fucking figured that out in less time than you think.
Let's look at the Wright brothers to the space shuttle.
Yeah, or even just the Wright brothers to the moon landing.
Yeah. That was 60, 70 years?
Yes.
Yeah, 70 years. We went from balsa wood, paper, and an engine to the moon.
Or, some people don't believe we went to the moon.
God damn it, motherfuckers.
You can't deny, even if you want to deny that the moon landing happened, you have to look at the Saturn V. There's indisputable proof that fucking thing existed, right?
Yes.
We have, unused one on display. There's, thousands of eyewitnesses accounts.
I'm not even going to go into the fact that people would say that's all bullshit, but yes, no, that is actually truth that you're saying.
There are people alive that saw that thing launch.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny that thing happened. And so in 60 years, or just about 70 years.
Let's go with 70.
70 years, a person's lifetime, we went from the first human-powered flight
to landing on the goddamn moon.
To launching basically a skyscraper. Even if we didn't land on the moon, we still launched a fucking skyscraper.
Yes.
Something that, fully fueled weighed millions
of tons.
Pounds or tons, I can't remember.
Let's go with tons. It weighed a lot.
It weighed a lot.
It weighed at least as much as your mom.
Yes. So that right there says that, admittedly, we are accelerating. Like, technology...
it's always like that.
Accelerates.
Technology accelerates the advancement of other technologies.
But that holds true in the ancient world, too. Mm-hmm. Just because it wasn't as fast
once
as...
Once you figure out the fucking arch...
Once you figure out algebra...
Yeah.
Which, just because it was only codified...
Right.
By what, Newton? Wasn't that what we...
Newton was one of the first. Yeah.
But
Newton
he just
came up with algebra because he was bored on a weekend. I'm not joking. That is a fact.
But the precepts of algebra have been discovered and probably lost.
Rediscovered multiple times.
Geometry. Yes. I mean, you look at Egypt. You can't say that they didn't know fucking geometry.
How the fuck did they not have the wheel?
I think it probably is environmental.
Sand.
I mean, the wheel is only really useful when you have...
hard-packed earth.
And they knew the wheel. They knew that round things made things move better.
Yeah,
because they used logs and sledges.
Yes.
But if you don't have a environment that's conducive to making roads, the wheel really doesn't make sense. I mean, that's like saying, why didn't the Incas have the wheel? Because there's dense jungle.
Yeah.
They're not going to carve out roads, by hand when walking worked just as well.
Yeah. I get it. But let's talk about one other thing that's sort of a detraction to this theory. And again, I still love this theory. All right. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not going to say it's not true. But where is the physical remains of the civilization? One of the problems a lot of people have with this theory is that there's no archaeological remnant. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's underwater or what have you. Like, they would have been settled on coast and like the water level. And I'm not going to get into the whole Earth stole Mars's water thing during the Younger Dryas thing. Like, that's a theory that there was a giant funnel through space.
Yeah.
And we stole Mars's water, and it drowned a bunch of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
If you want to hear about that from people that legitimately believe it, go to mysteriousuniverse.org and listen to fucking those two guys go on about fucking water spouts in space, because holy shit, that was insane. But the point is, they're saying that like the remnants may be buried underwater somewhere, and I'm like, motherfucker, it'd still probably be visible. I mean, like, people point to the Bimini Road. You're familiar with the Bimini Road, right?
It sounds familiar, but
okay.
Tell me, give me a refresher.
All right,
and
Bimini,
the audience too.
Bimini.
I don't need to know. The audience needs to know.
All right, off the coast of Bimini, near I want to say Jamaica, somewhere in the Caribbean. It was discovered large square blocks in a straight line.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that resemble a road or the top of a submerged wall. And everybody lost their fucking shit because Edgar Cayce, famous psychic from the 1920s and 30s, had predicted that a part of Atlantis would be discovered near Bimini. Which, that's pretty fucking coincidental, all right? You got to admit, right? It's like the 20s, they're going to find part of Atlantis off the coast of Bimini. Bam, they find something that looks like a road or a wall at Bimini, all right? That's pretty fucking amazing. That's a good goddamn coincidence. And coincidence is the breeding ground of conspiracy. So,
yeah,
they discover this shit. And people say that could be the remnants of part of this lost civilization. Of course, most people say it's Atlantis. But, whatever. Point is, Bimini Road. And then scientists come and they look at it and they're like, natural formations. They're like, and the thing is, like, it happens all the time. And I've yet to see an example of this happening anywhere else. No one ever says, well, see, it happened here. It's like, no, it's a natural thing. Obviously. Because we can't deal.
They're not going to say that if they haven't seen it before.
The history books have been written, Mike. No. Sorry. It's just, that's always the response people give. And it's just like, yeah, okay, could you explain it to me like I'm an idiot then? Because, like,
yeah,
I need something better than, well, it's natural. Well, why is it natural? Because I said so. I need a little more.
Yeah, I mean,
especially after a fucking psychic said you'd find it there. That's the thing that gets me. Casey wasn't even a scuba diver. They didn't have scuba back then. He just laid on a couch and babbled for hours.
There's this interesting phenomenon that's called
psychosis?
Coincidence.
Yes, no, that's exactly what I was saying. That's why I said
it's
coincidence is the breeding ground of conspiracy.
But it's like that unexplained encyclopedia series from the 80s.
Oh, I've got some of those.
The commercials for it, though.
Yeah, coincidence
or something more.
Yeah, no, I love those because
it's fucking coincidence.
Yeah, that's the definition of the goddamn word. A mother at home feels a burning on her sensation. Meanwhile, at home, 90 miles away. Her daughter is giving her boyfriend a hand job. Coincidence? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a given. Yeah, no, I understand. It's a hell of a coincidence, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it is an astronomical fucking coincidence, if it's a coincidence. You know?
Yeah.
And, but yeah, also Hancock has pointed to Edgar Casey, and I'm kind of like, look, that's a great coincidence, but like a lot of what Casey said was fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, he really, he was all about Atlantis. And a lot of that, so like people were like, he was called the sleeping prophet because he would like fall asleep and then talk in his sleep about Atlantis.
Okay.
And there's the Edgar Casey Institute is still a thing. Now, that being said, our roommate has begun talking in his sleep, and if you would like to donate to our Gage is a Fucking Prophet Institute, please donate to our Patreon.
Well, I haven't been able to delve much meaning out of. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do that thing.
Oh, my God. Were you there the night he started, like, cussing somebody out?
No.
That's fucking hilarious.
That
he just started
awesome.
going, "No, fuck you!" I was like, what the fuck is he doing in there? So, anyway, point is, I'm sorry. But, I mean, you get the idea of what I'm saying about this guy, right? I mean, like, I'm fascinated by his theories. Yeah, it's probably bullshit, but, like, there's a part of me that hangs on to it because I'm fascinated by it. Because every now and again, you'll hear something in the news that kind of lends just enough credence to it.
Yeah.
So, I'm not willing to count it out exactly. Now, what does the skeptic think? Like, if, hypothetically, we found the proof, would you be completely shocked? Or would you be like, huh, it's interesting?
No, I mean, so before tonight, I would have I kind of thought there was some credence to the Sphinx is older than,
2,600 years.
But while we w're talking, I went on Wikipedia and read what it had to say about it, and
Yeah.
And I mean, so Wikipedia is one of those things that people poo-poo it as a source, right?
Well, I mean, when you can go on and edit and put somebody's parents as ass and balls.
But here's the thing, for the big things, like for
this, nobody's gonna go on and fuck this up that badly.
So it's very democratic in that
it's reviewed before it's edited, usually.
Well, it's just that if someone puts some bullshit out there, it's not going to stand. I mean, admittedly, I don't know. It's just
you're not as big a believer as you would have been. Are you saying that our discussing this made you less of a believer?
It made me realize that. Wow, there's a lot of evidence that points away from the Sphinx being anything other than, 2600 BC.
You know what? I got one thing to say about that, Mike. And this is in relation to me discussing this with you. Man, I totally fucking failed in my job.
I'm glad you could get the sad trombone in there.
I've been waiting for an excuse to do that, to be honest.
This is Kevin and Mike, DJ in the morning.
Yeah!
What were those guys called? The
Morning Zoo.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Isn't there like a term for those kind of DJs?
Assholes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are the assholes?
We're the morning assholes on Z106.7. Anyway,
no, that's John Boy and Billy.
Oh, that is John Boy and Billy. Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. Anyway, point is, I guess that's been
Robert
the episode.
D. Rayford was all right.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's a fucking...
He's dead now.
He's dead, and he probably deserves to be.
He was the one that did the Armageddon.
He was a homophobe. Big time fucking racist homophobe.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
And you could hear the cork come out of the bottle and the doop noises as he's fucking doing it. And we're way more honest about our drinking on this show than he ever was. All right? We admit we took 2 shots of tequila, goddammit. So, anyway, I'm still not willing to let this one go. You know, and it's fine. I just, you know.
What would it take for me to convince you?
Jesus Christ, I don't know. Lick my balls. I don't know.
Okay, hold on. Pull your pants down.
No, I really don't know. I mean, like, there's a part of me that's just going to hang on to this for a while. It's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to be the person that shits on people's dreams.
Well, okay, look. But here's the thing. The truth of the Giza Plateau and a lost civilization, number one, either way, it's not getting me a job. It's not getting anybody laid, except for Graham Hancock.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that Egypt guy might, be pulling it in.
Man, that dude has got so many underage hookers, I'm sure. And you know what? I'm going down on record saying this. Man, fuck you. Sue me. I got nothing to take.
Don't sue me. Sue Kevin. He doesn't have any money.
Don't sue Mike. I'm the one that said it. I got no money to take anyway. What you gonna do? Sue me for my reputation? I got none. Anyway, point is, I totally understand Mike's point of view on this, and I'm okay with that. And I'm probably wrong, and that's okay. I'm going to hang on to my beliefs. I'm still going to enjoy Graham Hancock's books. I'm not going to enjoy Graham Hancock as a person. And I guess that's the episode right there.
But Kevin, geology is right.
Man, look. Just... That's all I got to say about that. Just...
Geology.
God damn it, Mike. You and your fucking... Science. Oh, shit. I can't be that guy. I can't say science is bullshit because it's not. But I'm gonna hang on to this by my fingertips.
Short and curlies.
My short and curlies, yes. Mike, as always, thank you so much for being on the show.
Man, that tequila's kicking in.
On both of us?
On me, for sure.
Oh, yeah, no, I am totally, like, my eyes, I'm sitting here going, when was the last time I opened my eyes? I don't remember when I opened my eyes, Mike. That tequila is really, it's going to break its foot off in my ass soon. Thank you so much for being on the show, Mike. Is there anything you want to plug?
Other than my beehole?
No.
No, I don't. You know me. I don't.
Yeah, Mike doesn't have much of a web presence. But
I'm just that guy in the shadows that watches you undress. Wait a minute, no, I'm not.
Shut the fuck up.
So no, I am on this podcast. Not very frequently. It's called a Supernatural Selection. I came up with a name for it.
Yes, Mike actually did come up with the name Supernatural Selection. I initially
Kevin, if you didn't realize, I'm plugging the podcast on this podcast.
That's fine. I'm not going to stop you. We both had the same amount of tequila and probably alcohol.
So yeah. So you can find that podcast, on your mom.
On your mom. Wow, man. This shit just got weird. So you can find this. Mike actually would love to answer some questions. Speaking of which, it's been a little bit since you've been on.
Yeah, let me check that shit.
I need to check questions real quick. We're going to head over to Facebook because I know we had some questions on the Supernatural Selection page, which you can go to Facebook and look up Supernatural Selection. I think it's at SupernatPod.
Yeah, there's nothing in my Gmail.
Yeah, there's nothing in mine either. Let me see. I did a call for questions. Me and David answered a few.
What about
call for questions.
The Discord.
I'll check that in just a second.
I'm looking.
Okay, cool. Okay. Is there any legitimate proof of vampires or werewolves? From Gretchen Blaze.
I don't know of any.
I can't think of any either. I mean, there's like proof of people being terrified of the motherfuckers.
Other than how long they've been around.
Well, vampires, I'm pretty sure the origin of the vampire thing is the fact that corpses tend to turn and curl up in the caskets when they're unpreserved, rigor mortis. And that made people think that they were climbing out at night and doing horrible things during, like, say, consumption.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that, back then that became vampires, but nowadays it would become zombies.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then there's werewolves, which is just, there is a medical classification for lycanthropy now, which is basically people going nuts and thinking they're wolves. Which a lot of times it's like, what's it called?
So I have to wonder if also it was kind of started because those Mexican kids. Well, they were kids when we were
the dog-faced boys.
Yeah, that they were super hairy. I wonder if they're like just like a family like that in like medieval Europe or something.
Oh, dude, totally. I can totally see
Germany
that.
Or something.
Probably.
And they were mountain people, kind of like the mid-century West Virginians. Mm-hmm. They didn't go around people much, so they were just sighted. And
did you see that damn dog boy out there in the woods?
Oh, did you see the dog boy? Oh, that's my attempt at a German accent.
Wow, that was
failed.
Fucking awful.
I know.
Oh, did you see the dog boy roaming around in some woods? I was driving my douche nozzle down the Autobahn and I passed the dog boy.
I was driving my cart down the road.
You tried to come up with something good.
Yeah.
And you got road. Okay, here's something. Kick-Assatron.
In the Discord?
Yes, longtime listener of the show, also big fan of Dave Ross, along with myself. Asks, what do you know about the slide rock bolter, a whale that lives in the mountains of Colorado and eats tourists? I don't know goddamn thing, but I want to know everything about this. I mean, that is like fascinating and stupid. You looking it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of discussion about the Fae between Ghost Forge and Kick-Assatron, which basically resulted in them deciding they're assholes. And I know Kick-Assatron asked this, and me and David answered it ourselves about, do the Ninja Turtles count as cryptids? And in the real world, what?
So I went on cryptids.fandom.com.
Oh, fuck.
Wiki. The slide rock bolter, and the pictures they have are like this whale with like its tail at the tip of a mountain laying down. It's just funny and horrifying at the same time.
Is this that giant god awful? I'm looking at it right now.
The two pictures. That's hilarious. In Colorado, apparently.
This may be the dumbest picture I've ever seen in my life. I'm fascinated, and I kind of need something more to drink.
And so, a whale that are known for dying when out of the water.
Picture.
Yeah,
the second picture was like, rawr. The first one just looks like it's like, fuck. The second one is, rawr.
Even if a whale wouldn't just die after a couple of hours of laying on land, say, it found the perfect carved thing that would, keep it supported, and there was like a river flowing over it so it didn't dehydrate. It has to rely on stupid animals wandering past it for it to eat.
The very first comment from this month at the bottom of the page is, so basically it filter feeds on trees and anything else in its path?
Yeah, I mean, for the one time every couple of months a deer just stupidly runs in front of it and it can eat it.
Okay. I think
and it's laying in a puddle of its own poo.
You maybe need to stop for a second and realize deer are incredibly stupid.
Well, yeah, but they're also flighty as fuck, and if anything moves, like a mouse farts 300 yards away and a deer will just run for its life into traffic.
Mike, December 6th, 2019, Elsa Almano on the Cryptids fandom said,
I just saw it.
Can we cook it?
And Queen Goddeth says, yum.
That's great. I fucking love
Slide,
that.
rock bolter, yum.
The first thing anyone wants to know is, can we eat it?
Yes.
Kind of like on that Robot Chicken sketch where it's like, I built a robot that, can we fuck it?
I think they are huge salamanders.
Yeah, that makes so much more sense. And the response to that, yep. People who sleep the other way around with their feet on the pillow.
Yeah, all the blood has to be rushing to its head, so it's constantly lightheaded. Redding out all the time. The deadly mountain whale.
Oh my God. What I don't get is how people don't notice the gigantic fish on the top of the mountain on their hike. That's a very good point, goddammit. So, let's see. So, Mike, as me and David were talking about are Ninja Turtles cryptids? In the real world, no, they're a fictional thing. But, within the world of the Ninja Turtles.
God, yeah, there's got to be, rumors flying about... Well, no, they're on the news, aren't they?
Well, no, in the original comics, no.
Well, okay, the cartoon, April was always, reporting about them.
The Ninja Turtles saved me because I'm a stupid bitch. Yeah. In the comics, though, it's like, I think I saw them damn lizard boys. So they're definitely cryptids in there.
You think they're Ninja Turtle groupies, but, unfortunately they're middle-aged, balding, fat dudes.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Going out.
Yeah.
But they get something wrong, so they're constantly leaving, lasagna and calzones around, trying to tempt them out.
When you said lasagna, and then they go out and it's just Garfield. It's just Garfield there eating the lasagna going,
God damn it. I'm trying to catch a turtle and I keep getting this fucking orange cat.
Well, you shouldn't put it out on Mondays.
I hate Mondays.
And the only thing that saves me is lasagna. Fuck you, Garfield. So, guys, thanks for the questions. We had a lot of... We actually had some questions there, and we really appreciate them. Please, feel free to leave more. Head to our Discord. There is a link on the website, and you can go there. There's a questions for the show forum channel thing that you can talk about with other people on there. You can email Mike at skepticalmike@supernaturalselectionpod.com. You can use the contact form at our website.
Yeah, because that's a lot of things to type out. So I would imagine I would suggest you just go to our website and use that contact form, because that's a lot easier.
Our website is supernatpod.rocks. That is the easiest way to find us. That short URL, supernatpod.rocks.
And the rock stands for the rocks in our heads.
No, it stands for rocks.
No, it's the rocks in our heads. Admit it.
Okay, yes. But they're the singing rocks in our heads.
No, they're rock lords.
Rock lords. Powerful living rocks. So, I can't believe I remember that. Jesus. Okay, so if you want to hear more stupid shit like that, and me and David discuss more monkey men, head over to the website and click the Patreon button. We have a Patreon. Currently, we have one patron who, once again, is Mr. David Holyfield. David, thank you so much for your donations. We really appreciate it. Again, you are the king of the podcast right now. You are our Lord and Savior. All praise Dave.
Wait a minute. You're getting money for this shit? Where's my cut?
You want $250?
No, that's all right.
It's $250. Once it's more than $5, yeah, we can talk about it, buddy.
Just put it in a savings account so we can buy things.
That $5 a month, man. We're gonna get so many Snickers. But seriously, we got multiple tiers. We're going to have some bonus podcasts as soon as we get some donators on the higher levels. We've got our first subject lined up, and it's going to be a fun one. So please head over to our Patreon, which should be patreon.com/supernatural selection. Or click the button on supernatpod.rocks. You can find us on Twitter at SupernatPod. You can find us on Facebook, either searching for Supernatural Selection or at SupernatPod. And, contact us through all the various bullshits. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for listening and your feedback. You guys have been amazing. You have given me such hope for this show. I mean, I do this thing because I love it, and because I've got to get this shit out of my head before it kills me.
Or creates a tumor.
Which
will kill you.
Yes, which will kill me. And you guys have really given me a lot of just joy in being able to do this. And I know Mike enjoys doing this, and David enjoys doing it, and Clark enjoys it. And also, I'm an occasional co-host on Kids' Stuff, David's podcast, which is about the Child's Play film series and the Chucky TV show. So check that out. It's available on all your podcast stuff as well. Subscribe to our show on your podcast catcher of choice. If you have the ability, please leave a review or like us or whatever the hell your podcast app lets you do. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. Remember, Mike, as always, we love all these people. What was it again? Agape, not Eros?
Yes.
Agape, not Eros. We love you guys.
But maybe sometimes Eros.
A little bit Eros. So we will see you guys next time. So until then, stay frosty. Good night.
Later.
Supernatural Selection has been a production of DeviantBehaviorRadio.com. You can find it and more shows broadcast weekly at DeviantBehaviorRadio.com. Our theme music is Screensaver by Kevin MacLeod. It is used through Creative Commons license, and more of his music can be found at incompetech.filmmusic.io.